What's up, folks, and welcome back. A few months ago I did a review on a Marbero, very much smaller cousin, and that video is doing quite well, so there's clearly an interest in portable power stations. So I wanted to cover a couple more. This is the Marbero 300 watt version. I would love to show you the display, but it is really not very visible at all when you're in natural light. You can definitely see it when you're indoors and whatnot, but why would you need something like this indoors, absent a power emergency or whatnot? Front panel features a overall power button and an AC button, which would activate the two AC ports. One is a 2-prong, one is a 3-prong. Of course, the 3-prong doesn't really matter. These devices are self-standing. There's no way to ground them. But it's good that it accepts a plug like that. You've also got two quick charge USB, both rated at 10 watts, and a third USB that doesn't claim anything. This is a power delivery port right here. It's rated at 18 watts USB-C. And then you've got a pair of DC ports. One is an input, one's an output. I'm not sure what those do, as what you want to charge this with is actually on this side. This is the actual DC input. This DC input might actually duplicate what this does. I'm not sure. And then on this side over here, we've got a light and we've got a button for a light, but the light doesn't work. Not a great start for this guy. Claims to be 300 watts, just like this guy, and that seems a little bit odd to me, unless, you know, remember, bearing in mind that these are both budget options, the size discrepancy is pretty unbelievable. I mean, this is literally double the size, and this is also a 300 watt unit. The Marbero comes in at 5 pounds 4 ounces, 9 inches wide, 8.5 high, including the handle, and 4 inches deep. And I got this guy for 140 bucks, so inexpensive, but again, we've got a broken product here. The light doesn't work. It doesn't matter what sequence you do with the 3 buttons that it has, this light just straight up does not work. So this guy's getting returned regardless, but let's compare it to something that seems like it's a little bit better. Go away, plane overhead. Let's take a look at a much larger, heavier device. Like I said, this one is 5 pounds 4 ounces. This is 8 pounds 4 ounces. And like I said, the footprint of it is literally twice the size. It has a big, beautiful display that I'm not sure that you can see because of the lighting outside. You'll see it in the tests. The display shows an actual power meter. It's got power percentage by 1% increments. Nice touch. And it's got your input and output wattage that's either flowing into it or flowing out of it. On the front panel, we've got cigar style DC. We've got two 12-volt 5-amp outputs. We've got quick charge 3.0. We've got a standard USB output. We've got a standard USB-C output, and we've got a power delivery port USB-C that is capable of delivering 300 watts. We've also got two AC inputs. They don't pretend that 3-prong works, and there's just a slot on both so that 3rd prong can get out there. Additionally, you can turn on and off either the AC or the DC with these two buttons here. On the sides of it, there are two fans. One is an intake, the other is an exhaust to keep the thing cool, which is really, really nice. And then on the back of it, we've got the actual charging inputs. This can be used for solar devices. This will work with both its wall wart and solar devices where that connection is pretty common. And you've also got a light, cycles through and then to an SOS and then off. That light is extremely bright. Again, this guy is a beast. It comes in at 8 pounds, 4 ounces. It is 10 inches wide, 9 inches high when you include the handle, and 6.5 deep. This guy retails at $279, but I picked it up for $160, so it's extremely comparable to this. The Marbero 300 has a retail of $200. I picked it up for $140 on Amazon with a coupon, or it was just on sale at the time at that price. So let's take a look at the performance of these two. These tests were done on a 200 watt load. So bear in mind that these are both 300 watt devices. When we say watt, we're talking about watt hour. So if you put a 200 watt load to it, it should last an hour and a half. They're 300 watt hour. So if you try to suck 300 watts out of them, they should last an hour. I put a reasonably moderate 200 watt load on them via two incandescent 100 watt bulbs that both actually chimed in at around 95 watts. So we're talking about a 190 watt load. Now, one of the things that really bothered me is that the Marbero, along with its tiny, tiny display that doesn't give you a percentage meter, fell off really, really fast and hung on to one bar for a long, long time. With a 200 watt load, it discharged at 1 hour and 10 minutes, which is way, way under spec. It should have gone an hour 30. Also, its charge time took quite a while, and I think that has more to do with the AC power supply than anything else. It's lower wattage than you would expect. I think it was 60 watts. It took 4 hours and 30 minutes to charge it to full from empty. The Gooloo did a lot better. While we should have expected it on a 200 watt load to last an hour and 30 minutes, it lasted an hour and 24. The charge time was also a little bit quicker. It took 4 hours and 21 minutes. And there were frankly no surprises from it. With the awesome display here that gives you a percentage meter and everything, you know where you're at the entire time. So to make this quick and easy, this is a more expensive unit, but it's on sale all the time. You should be able to pick it up under 200 bucks. I picked it up for 160. Currently on Amazon, it's sitting at 230, but I would imagine that in a week or two, or whenever you're watching this video, there's probably a $50 off coupon or whatnot, and you're gonna be able to pick it up pretty much the same price that I got it at. And when you compare 140 to 160, holy crap, this thing is so much better. It's heavier, it's bulkier, but it's awesome. This is a great, great power station. And once again, I kick another Marbero to the curb. These are not great products. And unless they want to show me one and give it to me to test, you're no longer going to see any more reviews of Marbero products. I mean, let's be honest, other than the fact that my first Marbero video is just climbing. It's a slow, steady climb, but it gets about 30, 40 hits a day, every day since I posted it. It's pretty amazing. Other than that, unless Marbero has something real to offer, I'm not going to be looking at them again. I can't say anything good about their products. I mean, Jesus, the freaking light doesn't even work, man. This is a pretty good power station right here. You're going to get what you expect. You're going to be able to see what its state is at any given time. Gooloo for the win, folks. And I am actually going to be putting this guy up against a Jackery 300 water to see how they perform. That video is going to be 2 weeks out or so. So don't make any huge decisions just yet. But if you're watching this later, I will link the other video in the description and vice versa, so you can watch the two and make a good informed decision. That's going to do it for this one, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.